It's deadline day for the Department of Justice to hand over the long sought-after Epstein files. But will inquiring minds finally have satisfaction? We'll see. The document drop of unclassified files, if it indeed happens, will likely be pretty hefty. So it's going to take some time for our team of crack reporters here at the Post to sift through them all. But trust me when I tell you, we are all over it. On the eve of today's deadline, however, we got a fresh photo dump from House Oversight Democrats. Some of the 68 photos released Thursday include quotes from the book Lolita. They were scrawled in pen across close-ups of women's feet, back, and cleavage. Now, you'll recall the billionaire creep's private plane was called the Lolita Express. The story Lolita is about the victimization of a 12-year-old girl by a much older man. There were also photos of redacted passports from Russia, Morocco, Italy, Ukraine, Czech Republic. It suggests that Epstein was trafficking young women from all over the world. Now, other pictures feature a pretty random assortment of bigwigs, like New York Times columnist David Brooks, Google co-founder Sergey Brin, magician David Blaine, Bill Gates, Steve Bannon. But as we know, being pictured with Epstein doesn't imply guilt of anything, but it's not great. And one more Epstein-related bit of news. His accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, is making another Hail Mary bid to overturn her conviction. She's filed a petition in Manhattan federal court claiming that, quote, substantial new information has been released since her 2021 trial proving that she was wrongly convicted. While the petition may have a snowball's chance in hell of getting Maxwell out of prison, it could impact the release of the documents today. The law compelling the DOJ to release them includes provisions not to release information that could jeopardize active investigations or legal matters. Blame it on the alcohol. Kristin Cabot, remember her? The HR executive caught on the Coldplay concert Jumbotron canoodling with her CEO boss, has broken her silence now, 5 months later, for reasons. She admitted to making a, quote, bad decision after enjoying a couple of high noons. For the uninitiated, those are vodka or tequila spiked seltzer drinks with about as much alcohol in them as a light beer. So she wasn't exactly pounding straight shots of tequila there. Cabot also admitted that her boss, astronomer honcho and Andy Byron, was her, quote, big happy crush. That's certainly one way of putting it. The former HR rep says that she took accountability for her actions, giving up her career for it, but also thinks the backlash that she faced in the public was unfair. She told the Times of London, quote, I'm not some celebrity. I'm just a mom from New Hampshire. Even if I did have an affair, it's not anybody's business. She called the saga a scarlet letter that she says has erased all she accomplished in her life and career. Cabot also says that she and Byron were in the midst of separations from their spouses at the time. She's since finalized a divorce, but Byron, from previous Post reporting, seems to be sticking it out with his wife. Just days after 15 people were murdered at a Hanukkah event, it seems authorities in Australia have just prevented another similar tragedy. Heavily armed police swooped in on a group of men heading to Bondi Beach on Thursday. Intelligence suggested they could have been planning a, quote, violent act. The suspects were nabbed in 2 cars with out-of-state plates in the southwest part of Sydney. Footage at the scene captures SWAT teams searching and cuffing 5 bloodied suspects after authorities rammed their vehicles. Sources told the Sydney Morning Herald that a weapon may have been recovered from one of the cars. Aussie investigators haven't offered details on what they think that these men were planning, but they did say they don't believe they were directly connected with the Bondi shooting massacre. And speaking of that tragedy, remember that fruit seller, Ahmed al-Ahmed, who disarmed one of the gunmen? Well, he's being slammed by Palestinians in the West Bank as a traitor for saving the lives of Jews. An outlet called Ramallah News reported the act of bravery, but about 75% of the comments on that story, and there were about 1,000 of them, were hostile. Al-Ahmed was shot during this heroic disarming, and one commenter said that he wished the bullet hit the man's heart, while another said, may Allah not heal you. For more on these stories and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York Postcast wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. I promise, you'll be glad you did.